I feel like privilege really doesn't play a part when you're not from the industry. And I went into the bathroom and I called my mom and I was like, Mom, there's no AC here. And it's filled with girls. And she was like, this is dead.
Welcome to the real world.
It was always kind of, okay, what time are you coming back?
Yeah.
Kahan? Like he used to see me on, my map and keep checking my location. Yeah. It doesn't come from that place. It, I think, just comes from the place of the lack of safety. Yeah. Hi, my name is Naila Grewal and I'm with Stutee on Women at Work.
Hi guys, this is Fever FM. Women at Work, हमारे नया series, जहाँ पे we've taken things very seriously. And we have none other than Naila Grewal here. Welcome to the superwomaniya show.
I'm super excited to be here.
Guys, the reason we'll feel कि यार स्तुति जनरली बहुत लंबे चौड़े introductions दी थी, यार उसने बहुत ऐसे प्यार से बोला Naila. Because with Naila it feels like friendship, दोस्ती. हम मिलते हैं, we stay close by and we keep bumping into each other. And so happy to finally be doing this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Things are hotting up here.
Finally. I'm so happy, blessed. I'm glad that we're meeting outside of a coffee bump. And I can't wait to begin this, actually. This is amazing.
So good. When you said this, there was this triumphant note. Finally, thank God, I'm so glad this is happening. For somebody who's starting off, wait, mushkil hota hai. This is the test.
This is the test. Genuinely, I feel like, when you're on set, it's happening, right? You're like working 12, 15 hours a day. It's back to back. Then you have photo shoots and you have this and you have that. So then usme dimag ulajh jata hai and you're totally consumed.
You're busy, You're not no energy for anything.
No energy. Like there's no personal life, you're not sleeping well, you're not eating well. And then that period comes where it's the wait game. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait. Because it's not in your hands. You can't decide when a project can release or not. So then you just kind of have to really hold it all in, be graceful about it.
So tell us all that you're looking forward to abhi. So Mamla Legal hai.
And then there's Ishq Pishq Rebound. That's finally been announced and we can finally talk about it. I'm itching to talk about it, but I can't talk.
Finally, I can also say, galti se kisi ko nahi bata rahi, because I also knew and I was like, I'm not allowed to say anything. Yeah.
I can imagine, but 28th of June, and we go into theatres. So I genuinely can't wait because I feel like I've got two very distinct projects coming in the same year. And for me, it brings two shades of myself that audiences can see, and then hopefully, I can work with more interesting filmmakers.
Everything that you were telling me, Naila, looking back, aapko lagta hai ki your journey would have been different, or your experiences would have been different if you had been a guy? Like, are there certain experiences that are just exclusive to one's gender? That if you're a woman, these are the things that you go through?
Absolutely, I think so. I was born and brought up in Delhi. It becomes a reality for you. My father was always apprehensive to send. My sister and I we're the two girls in the house, apart from my mother. It was always kind of, okay, what time are you coming back? Kahan? Like he used to see me on, my map and keep checking my location. Because that's the world we live in. It's not because of his kind of ideas of how a woman should be. It doesn't come from that place. It, I think, just comes from the place of the lack of safety. Which is, it's a reality and we should accept that from any strata of society. Being a person coming from privilege, it's still affected me. In comparison to, let's say, my house help, who's also having her own struggles as a woman, reaching her workplace. So I feel like that, as just the city I was living was innately there, just in the sense of kahan, kab aa rahe ho. Yeah, perhaps maybe if I were a guy, it would just be a lot easier for me to go about
No clock ticking, no biological clock, no wondering. लोग कैसे interpret करेंगे इस चीज को?
Even something as small, Stutee, as you're going to wear this and go for the audition.
Yeah.
So that's like,
you have to rethink that. Ki what if I send out some wrong
signal?
Yeah.
Whereas with a man, that obviously doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Obviously, not to say that there are not struggles on the other side. Of course, there are.
No, but there's some things which are just so
exclusive to women, and only a woman knows how it is when you go through such things.
Yeah. And we're two Delhi girls here living in Bombay, and we can tell you how that looking over your shoulders, time. मैं तो यहाँ घड़ी देखना भूल जाती हूँ because it doesn't matter, yeah. And you see the chill side of parents also. They are also like पहले कहाँ कौन drop करेगा ऐसे now they also say bye.
Exactly.
The first time I met Naila was LSR.
Correct.
There was a panel discussion, and she was a ex-student who had been invited, and I was there. So number तो आपके बड़े अच्छे आए स्कूल में, इतना तो हम assume कर ही लेते हैं. What did you study?
In LSR, what I studied? I studied journalism and mass communication.
Oh, so you want, somewhere back of your mind, you wanted to be a journalist. It was not कि मैं heroine.
Correct. So in school, the thing was that, definitely I was always inclined towards theatre and dance. And theatre is one of my main subjects in school. Because I studied the IB. So you have a variety of different subjects you can take. You don't have to choose like a segment of...
Is that a tougher board? Is it tougher than CBSE really?
Very
showing
tough.
off? Yeah.
No, genuinely. To a point where like LSR became like a cakewalk for me.
So all girls college, LSR, all girls college, JMC. I loved it. I was from a co-ed school going into an all girls, and everybody said you'll hate it, but I did not.
Apart from the first day Stutee, where I went to the auditorium and they had like the kind of the welcome assembly that the principal was taking, and I entered the auditorium and it was filled with girls. Okay. Of course, as expected, but it just really hit me. And I went into the bathroom and I called my mom and I was like, Mom, there's no AC here and it's filled with girls. And she was like, this is
welcome to the real world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The college is not, I don't know, like I can't compare it to other colleges because I haven't been there, but I can just say that it was a very wholesome experience being there because all the girls had their politics in place, their thoughts in place. So it was a very like, your mind was so stimulated constantly in LSR. That was, I think, it just really completed me as a girl.
I am so happy you said that because that is what I wanted to segue into.
Yeah.
Smart young women with an opinion. Do you think you've had to ever dumb down so that you are a little more palatable for people?
I've been told.
Because your face intelligent hai.
Not to like make myself sound really like intellectual about it, but perhaps I feel like when I kind of take myself out of an experience and I see that maybe I should just not maybe give my opinion.
Whereas there's lots going on here, you know exactly, you understand the politics, you understand everything, but
like you sometimes understand the hypocrisy of the situation. That's so in your face, and then some people are like, huh? And then I wonder, like, do you actually not get it, or is it a facade? But then I feel like that's life. One needs to know how to kind of balance every situation and see where one should speak and how much to speak. That's like a general rule of thumb, I feel. Especially if you're in the public eye, you should just know how to not be so one-dimensional in how you feel and throw that on people.
You know, so my question was not just ki kaam ke मामले में, because I know actors are also face so much of pressure that you can't say some things, you can't upset people, the trolls get after you, you get labels. I understand and sympathize with all of that. But generally, in life, with men, do you think men get intimidated with women who can think, have an opinion, and have a mouth to voice?
Yes, men don't like women who have mouths. Yeah.
Yeah. And have you ever had to dumb yourself down? I know I've done that, so I'm asking.
I think so, Stutee. I think so.
Like let them do the mansplaining. Or like, huh? Actually, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my god, yeah, that expression said it all. Yeah. So, okay, so this girl goes to LSR.
Yeah.
Okay, and knows that she wants to be an actress. या तब journalism का ही भूत सवार है तब भी.
So, what happened was that I graduated from school. I had just gotten into LSR a couple of months in, and that's kind of when Tamasha happened for me. Before that, I was like, you know what, I'm just
That was a
gonna be...
big break. I mean,
That was
imagine
like yeah.
Ranbir Kapoor,
Yeah.
Deepika, Imtiaz Ali. तो उस वक्त भी तो लगा होगा कि I think I'm just...
Yeah, I thought इसके बाद तो
भगवान जी ने AC on कर दिया. Yeah.
AC college में नहीं है, लेकिन feeling तो आ रही है.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, to be honest. I was, again, so young. So I was coming from a very different world. In my school, it was a different ball game. So when I came here and then I got that opportunity, I thought, oh, ab to matlab, you know, this is it. But then what happened was that I realized that when I was on set, so I'll tell you what happened before as well. That was also quite exciting. So I was doing a play through my college, and the casting team knew about me and they had seen me perform. So they said that the film has a lot of this theatre students were showing that kind of world also. So there's this part, please send your audition for it. So I said, ठीक है. पापा को मैंने co-acting करवाया, मम्मी कैमरा पकड़ के खड़ी थी, and हमने scene किया. They liked it. So I was like, what? They said, come and meet Imtiaz sir on set.
How was that?
I was like, oh my god, this is insane. And that day, Deepika and Ranbir were shooting a very important scene in Delhi. So I went on set, crossed the 100 layers of security that was present, and I reached. And Imtiaz sir was just the most loveliest. He spoke to me and he said, oh, you're on the IB, and then we spoke about the IB. And then he said, okay, great, I like to take, so come tomorrow, let's do the scene once more. And then it was kind of like he suggested that we'll do another audition.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I went the next day. I thought it'll be maybe his assistant who'll co-act with me. They'll record it and show sir, and then they'll tell me yes or no on the phone. So then they said, you can come to so-and-so. I'm in this hotel, we're staying. Please come here. So I reach, I enter, and Ranbir is sitting there. And I'm just like, I was not told that it's going to be this. So I enter, and he meets me really, you know,
he's very
all this
charming.
charm.
Yeah.
And I'm this girl in absolute awe because he was always my favorite. And he was just the most loveliest, and he cracked a joke here and there. And then he said, please come sit. And I sat, and then Imtiaz sir came, I met him. And I said, okay, let's do the scene. So Ranbir will say his lines and you will say yours. So I was co-acting with Ranbir and Imtiaz sir was recording it. So I was like, okay, whatever it is, let's do this. Joby, I don't know what I did, Stutee, that day, but I did something.
Okay.
As I was going down, I got the call from the casting team that, sir liked it, you're on, you can do the part. I said, this is great. Now, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, now you ask, there are 100,000 questions before you even look at a project. Back then, I didn't even know the scope of the character. एक scene है, एक
Obviously,
line
it was
है,
just,
chance मिल रहा है, जो भी मिल रहा है, करो. So then I was part of the film in a very small way, but I was there.
Yeah.
Then Imtiaz sir, after my part, he said that there's also, a scene in the film where Ranbir is a robot and I need a clown. That's symbolic shots. So he said, can you play that? I said, yeah, I can do anything.
मैं ही आ जाती हूँ रोज मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
Clown bana do, aaj actress bana do, aaj ye bana do. So I did that section. So I had these two little parts in the film, and I was just the happiest. But then I realized that, okay, this is not the little dreamy, like Delhi girl just gets a Bollywood film, that too is Ranbir Kapoor. Nahi hai wo. So now, there are technicalities to everything.
Yeah.
I realized I couldn't even walk the way Imtiaz sir wanted me to. In the sense that directors have certain, you have to hit a certain mark.
Yeah.
That's when the light falls at you. Your face has to be in a certain direction. Then in terms of the direction of expressions with which you're coming into the scene, I didn't know any of that.
So reality hit then.
That even walking to my mark suddenly became like, how do I walk there on time? Because they want me to walk in 4 steps, but it's becoming 8. Now, how do I make this work and then hit the right mark? And then what was the line?
Wow.
And you can't screw up because you have these, fantastic, massive stars. So then I was like, okay, if I even have an itch to inspire to become this, I need to start to really reevaluate. This is not any like child's play.
Yeah.
That's kind of when my practice towards the craft kind of started.
This was so real and raw when you were saying कि उसके बाद मुझे समझ में आया कि if I want to dream this seriously, there's a lot that needs to be done.
Right.
So how did you start? What all did you do?
The first was just...
That's when the shift to Bombay happened?
No. Not at all.
Okay.
Then uske baad I did my cameo in Bareilly Ki Barfi with Ayushmann.
Yeah.
That was another reality check. Because I had to play a girlfriend. I remember he had a scene going on. I had just landed and I came on set because I wanted to meet everybody in Lucknow. And he came up to me and said, "Hi Naila, I'm Ayushmann Khurrana." And then he sat with me and he spoke. And I said, what a lovely man. He was so respectful to my mom who was accompanying me on the shoot. He was just, it felt like he's kind of looking after me in a sense. So it was just like, it was a lot of fun working with him.
So the other big film that I remember seeing you in was Thappad.
Right.
Taapsee Pannu.
Yeah.
Anubhav Sinha. How was that? How did you get that?
That was...
And Abhi bhi was still in Delhi.
Thappad time was in Delhi.
I like this girl is like, abhi nahi aana mujhe. Abhi jitna Delhi mein kar lo kar. Delhi mein baithe koi Anubhav Sinha mil rahe hain to koi kyun shift ho.
Yeah. But that for me was a very important film for more ways than one. Before that, it was all the groundwork, the butter, the flour, all of that was getting together. But it was really, for me, the actual mixing of everything happened during Thappad. Because I auditioned for a part that, for the first time, I could really relate to.
Yeah.
She was a character like me.
Yeah. So after Thappad, and Thappad was a bigger role.
Yes.
More people saw this film, recognized you. तो फिर बोला कि आप बॉम्बे चलते हैं?
नहीं. फिर लॉकडाउन हो गया.
Oh yes. Was that tough?
Very.
Because you're just precariously balanced. You need to work and everything shut down.
Yeah. So what happened was that I think, if I'm not wrong, I think Thappad was the last film to kind of release before lockdown.
Yeah.
And what happened was that I was actually receiving a lot of love for my part. I didn't think I would, but a lot of people were talking about it within the art industry and otherwise. And then I started getting offered a lot of things. So then whatever I used to, back then I was, obviously everyone was home and auditioning from their workplace, from their home. Then I started getting things a lot more easily. So like, you were very good in Thappad. We want to do this with you. We want to do this. So many things started getting lined up. Like 4 or 5.
And now the background music was my heroine.
Yeah, I was like, oh, now this is getting easy.
Yeah.
Now I don't need to struggle for every part and think, will I get it, will I not? Now I audition and within a day I get a call and they're like, yeah, we like it. Can we talk this and can we talk that? I was like, this is great. Everything is falling into place. I'm doing Zoom calls with the teams and all of that, and directors want to have Zoom interviews with you and meetings with you. I thought everything is falling into place magically now. And ये lockdown तो 1-2 महीने का होगा max to max, and then we'll be back to normal life. That didn't happen, which meant that a lot of those projects never happened.
Yeah.
In fact, they still haven't happened. It's not like as if they went ahead with anybody else. That would have broken my heart. But those projects actually never, they're not.
You know, जैसे आपने बोला कि एक तो दिल्ली का हैंगओवर जहाँ हमें लगता है कि it's very unsafe, and slowly of course one gets used to the fact that it's not a खतरों के खिलाड़ी to step out in Bombay. And then the fact that your family is not from the industry. So your mom accompanies you like when you would go for auditions, yahan pe, like how's that? Again, I think that's also very exclusive to women.
Yeah.
Young girls who want to come to the industry,
Yeah.
that you need somebody you trust around.
Correct. And I feel like, you know, I've seen so many, when you go for auditions, you see all kinds of people, but you see so many girls who are, you can see that they've gone through so much to kind of be there, and they're on their own.
Yeah.
They don't have someone to turn around to and say, is my hair frizzy, or am I looking okay?
Yeah.
Like, is my kajal smudged? No one is really there to tell them. So, you know, I might be coming in a car and another girl might be coming in a rickshaw. She might be maybe a more nuanced actor than me, let's say. And we're still auditioning for the same thing. And maybe a third girl coming from a totally different world, maybe she's even living abroad, she might get the part.
Yeah.
So it's such a tough space to be in, and it's so, I feel like privilege really doesn't play a part when you're not from the industry. I would try to have someone accompany me for an audition, because I just feel, not really, it's not about safety, but I just feel like you need
like my person, somebody.
Should I wear this? Okay, is this looking fine? You know what, can you just do the lines with me once? What do you think I can add to the scene?
Do you think as women we doubt ourselves more? Have you seen young male actors come for auditions with people or have an imposter syndrome or something like that?
I feel like, I haven't seen really guys come with somebody. I feel there's a sense of,
I'm complete, I'll handle it.
Yeah. I don't know where that roots from, if I were to think about it. As a woman, why do we feel this sense that we're not... I just feel like one has to... What I've noticed, especially just in the world of acting, when you're auditioning, as a woman, you kind of have to be this complete package. You need to look good, but you also need to be vulnerable.
Yeah. The hot and sweet.
There's so many demarcations to making a complete package what they want, or what they expect out of you. So if you even if you bring another shade of, let me be this aspect, let me bring this to it. Maybe she can be a bit snarky. Maybe the character, I feel the character requires a bit of snark. You'll be like, no, keep it sweet.
Sweet, yeah. Snarky to wham. Yeah.
So I feel like there have been very few casting directors who are actually, they're open to you kind of doing it your way. Then that's great. Because that's in what you're bringing to on the table, no? Otherwise, there'll be 100 girls looking sweet and sexy in the same proportion. But if you play with it, then you can see that, okay, she's bringing something.
No, I think that's very insightful. That we just expect so much when it's a female character, it's sweet. But nothing too much, nothing over. And physical transformation, have you had to deal with all of that?
Thankfully, no one has actually come up and told me that change this or that. And neither do I want to. I think as performers, the entire game is of your expressions. And as soon as you lose touch of that, then you're losing your biggest tool of communication. So I feel like things like, the way you wear your hair or the way you do your eyebrows, that can be a game changer, I think, for a woman. And that is great in order to get into the shoes of different characters. So if my character requires me, for example, let's say to be unkempt, then I can't wear my eyebrows the way I currently wear my eyebrows.
We're almost at the end of this.
Yeah.
This has been so much fun. But okay, this is a question that I ask all my guests, and the reason I do is because growing up, हम भी female role models ढूंढते थे. Somebody जो हमें लगे कि हमारी बात कर रहा है या ऐसे बनना है. अभी जो आपको देख रहे हैं या सुन रहे हैं, so many of them would feel, wow, Naila is living the life that I want. LSR, IMC, she finished her education, she's living life on her terms, working towards what she really wants, her family is supporting her. What would you tell somebody who wants to be like you, wants a life like you?
That's a tough one because it's not being so one.
I mean, inspired, not,
It's sometimes you feel very down and out as well, and then you feel like, is it even worth it? Right? But I would say one thing I would like to tell people who aspire for a certain kind of life where they're pursuing what they want to do is that have your head on your shoulders, persevere, and be patient. Especially in a craft like this. A lot of it is dependent on patience and gracefully patient.
Very true.
As we started this conversation, we spoke about this constant wait game. A majority of being an actor is waiting for your work to come out.
Sometimes even waiting on set for your shot. Yeah.
It's a constant game of waiting. And it's the way you play that wait, what you do in that wait is what's going to make that entire journey worthwhile. So if you're on a set and you're waiting, how do I make that wait fruitful? Am I going to work on my script and my scene? Am I going to have a good time because I'm not feeling in the best state of mind? So am I going to talk to my team and just keep my spirits up? What am I going to look at the shot of my other co-actor that's going on and get inspired maybe? What are you going to do to make the wait worthwhile?
Yeah.
And I think that is something that, I would like to tell people. Persevere and make the wait fruitful.
I think that's golden advice, straight from the heart, very practical. Thank you, Naila. And I love the fact that you haven't changed. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stutee. This was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Fever FM.